got a coon and a dog-proof coon trap. Now I'm going to go dispatch this coon and then remake this set and explain why I chose to set it in this location. Hey y'all, I'm Logan from the Backwoodsman Institute. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about dog-proof coon traps. Dog-proof coon traps are an excellent dryland set to catch raccoon. Now all you have to do is set it, bait it, plunge it in the ground, and then stake it down so it ain't going to go anywhere, and you're on your way. It's a quick, easy setup. The only thing about these dog-proof coon traps, they're more on the pricier side of a coon trap. Now, these run about 12 bucks, depending on what brand you get, to around 15 to 20. These are Dukes. Now, what you can do is if you're interested in buying some of these dog-proof coon traps, but you don't want to fork over the $15 right away, what I recommend is what we did is you buy 1.5 foothold traps for, you know, $5-6 bucks, set a line out with that for a year, and then use the money you make from setting that line out to buy a few dog-proof coon traps. So that's what we did. These are worth their money if you have the money. So they're not a necessity, but they are great. Right now I'm going to show you how to set it, and I'm going to show you why I chose to set it in this location and give you some ideas how you can use this on your trap line. What I got right here is I got a deer trail right here that the coons will utilize. But they come down right in through there, and they go to this frog pond that's here on my property. They go around the bank and everything, then they come back and they go right past where we're standing right here and follow this fence line down past that tree and past some little cedars down there. So I chose to set it on this intersection of these paths right here. It's just like when you're deer hunting. You don't want to sit on one trail. You want to find the funnel or the intersection of all them trails where they merge together. That way, if an animal comes down this path, you know, if I set my trap over there on that trail, this animal that came through here may never even smelled the bait or nothing. So I put it right here so that way any animal coming on these trails is going to merge into this one location. Since this is reset and I'm not showing you how to pack it yet, all you want to do is if you're resetting your trap is to grab the trap with the dog facing away from you, all right? Then squeeze it to you, hook a finger on that dog, and then on this trigger, you set it to where that dog holds on to that trigger right there, all right? Then whenever you want to let go and get your fingers away from it. All right, now that's set. These Duke dog-proof coon traps, they have a stake on the bottom of them, all right? You want to plunge that all the way into the ground to where this thing is solid, all right? If this ain't solid, they're going to come around, they'll knock this over, and you're going to miss a lot of catches. And they won't even try to dig their hand in there. They want something solid because you're imitating basically a hole, and all types of fur bearers are interested in holes, all right? So they see this hole here, and they're going to try to dig out your bait that you're going to put in there. Now, if you were going to hard stake this, all you'd have to do is get your stake. If at all possible, now these are just old tomato cage stakes bent over like this. If at all possible, you want to sink it into the ground as far as you can get it. All right, just like that. It's sunk in below ground level. You can step on it more if you want to. Make sure this ain't coming out. There ain't no coon gonna be able to pull that out. Now, if you're in a sandier type of soil, or let's say it's next to a creek bed where you can't drive that stake in all the way into the ground, what I like to do is I crisscross, just like when I'm setting coyote traps, and drive them in at an angle like this. Just for this video, I ain't driving them in all the way. But then what happens is whenever you pull on this, you're making a scissor effect. Make this a quicker setup for me. Instead of pounding in a metal stake, I made cable stakes just like this. Now this is 3/32 7x7 cable. It's the same thing that I use for my coyotes snares. All I made 2 loops on each end, and I crimped them together. I smashed them together with what we call swedgies at work, but this is a 2-inch loop on this end, all right, and this one is about an 8-inch or 10-inch loop. Now the reason because of the 2 loops is, one, I'm going to take and put through my swivel end just like this, the small one. I'm going to take the big loop, mash it together, and go through that loop, all right? Now what I'm doing here is I'm forming a loop and a cinch onto the end of that stake. Now this is how this set was set up for this coon that we just caught. If there's a sapling next to it, and you can tell where I staked onto this and he went around in a circle on his catch circle, but take your big loop, wrap it around the tree, just like this, and then slide this trap through it. Then you can cinch this down. Just like that. Now I got a stake. This coon ain't going anywhere until I come here and undo my cable stake just like this. There's no chance of him pulling out of this. All right, how this trap works, that's the trigger right here, that piece of metal that my light's on. But the coon reaches his hand in there, feels the bait, starts eating the bait or pulling the bait out, but then he gets that trigger, thinks he's got something good in there, then it pulls up, and then the trap closes in on his hand right here. So that's how this trap works. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bait the trap. I'm using some homemade coon bait that I made. It works good, so I'm gonna make a video and share that with you guys, the recipe for it. But I'm just taking a stick, scraping it in there, and I want to fill up the bottom above the trigger. That's just how I do it. You may not have to. I kind of just want to lightly pack it down in there so he has to work to get this bait out of here. Increases the catch possibility for a catch. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave him a little taste on the edge of this, so he knows where the bait is and he knows there's more down in there. And I'll just put it on the rim, just like that. Maybe even some on the outside. Alright, another thing you can do is you can put some lure around your area if you want to. I put a 4-ounce bottle of coon lure in here, and then this is fish oil. Spritz it on there a little bit around the area, so it'll call them into this spot. Alright, now we're going to go back to the first shed, and I'm going to show you how I set up my dog-proof coon traps for easy carrying and easy setting along the trap line.